I do have a special guest with us today. Kendrick is with the band Toil the Earth, and they have played for us for the past 3 years at Evie Rocks Tyler.
That's correct.
But Kendrick isn't just the guitar player for the band. He's also an amazing sound guy and handles that for all the other bands, in addition to Toil the Earth while he's playing guitar. So his hat is definitely full on the day of the concerts. But let's visit with Kendrick for a moment.
Hello, everybody out there. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having us,
I would like to point out, Kendrick and Gabi literally live in Ohio right now.
At the moment.
They drove from Ohio to Tyler, Texas, just to be here for this event.
We believe in the purpose and the message and the understanding of what it does for our community. So it's more than worth our while. We are honored to be able to do this every year for you guys.
We're humbled and just still can't believe you drove all the way across the country.
It's okay. Blissfully, I say luckily, but blissfully, I love driving. So it's all right.
And there are the Buc-ee's on the way.
Man, okay. We'll talk about Buc-ee's later. Those guys. I love that place, but wow.
We actually met Kendrick and Gabi at the very first Evie Rocks Tyler concert. We had 3 bands and 500 people. Actually, that was the year before Toil of the Earth joined us.
Yes, you guys were at Burtville Park, I believe. Yes. We showed up. We realized what the event was going on, and I saw all the greatness happening, and I think a Panic Device went on.
Yeah.
And they were the loudest, more harder to control group that you had for that event. And I remember it was a little trouble getting the sound correct, but we got it locked in. I remember that's how we met. Yeah, man, that was.
And so then excellent. The next year was the first year where we had the opportunity to join, or for y'all to join us.
Yes. That was excellent.
How did that feel, or what was it like being a part of it as one of the bands?
To us personally, at that point in time, and we hadn't really played many shows. I think we had most likely have played maybe 2 shows. Our CD release, EP release, it was a flop. And then we played a show at CRC whenever they were bringing the national bands through it for a point in time. And then we had the Evie Effect ask us to come play, and that was a turning point for us. It really was, because we were a part of something that was about the community and moving love and light forward,
Yeah.
So it definitely made a difference for us,
Well, we certainly, y'all have been a blessing. You're just fun to watch the last couple of years. And
Thank you.
I think we have a few tricks up our sleeve planned for tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. A few backflips, maybe. I don't know. No, some definitely awesome artists that you have coming through. Ho James, they've been on the bill since the beginning, right?
Since the very beginning.
Yeah, I'd love those guys. The great spirits. Every time I run sound for them, they've been nothing but loving, positive, easy going.
Yeah.
People. Easy going.
Now, I do want to talk about one thing.
Yes.
A couple of years ago was when you very first joined us.
Mm-hmm.
The end of the night, after everybody had left and it was just the bands and us, you were sitting there and you just had this look on your face. And when I came and talked to you, you were like, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I see why we're doing this.
Yes.
You just expand on that.
Man, if I were to expand on that, I'd have to say, let me take it back a few years, or more than a few years. But whenever I was in high school, I felt down and out, lonely, lost, neglected. Didn't really feel part of this crowd or this crowd. Didn't understand that there were people around me that felt that way as well. And whenever we did the Evie Effect that year, I saw all walks of life, all different types of culture. From people that love rock to punk rock to country to metal to hip hop, there's people of our community that we didn't even know exist coming together as one to let everybody else know that they are not alone, and that we are moving this world, we are moving this universe together. And that's what I was saying. I get it. It was like it was an epiphany, slap on the back of my head. Boop, God woke me up and was like, "Hey, man, this is what I sent you here for." Heal the people, heal the nation. Worry about that, and then all the other things will be added on to you. It's all about love. So definitely.
Well, Yeah, that was an incredible moment, and
Mm-hmm.
been kindred spirits, brothers
Ever since, yeah. Nothing but big smiles and wide eyes every time we see each other,
Yeah.
you know? For sure.
Just you talked about your childhood and just some of
Yes.
those feelings.
Yes.
Do you feel like music has been that creative outlet, that spark? It
Oh,
was
yes.
maybe something that helped you through some of those struggles?
Most definitely. It was one of the only things that I had that I could escape from my reality, at the time, to find a peace in my own heart or in my own mind, however you call it, however you see it. Music has definitely been my healing place, and it's something that I always felt that I drew myself toward it because it was one thing that I could control, you know? So, like, you think about it, as a child, you have those group of friends that are playing outside, and you don't necessarily fit in. And every time you go try to play with them, like, they'll give you 5 minutes of their time, but then once they get tired of you, they push you to the side, and then they go on about their way. And you're sitting there fiddling your thumbs, playing with sticks. Music, I told it what to do. And then after I was done telling it what to do, it told me how I felt, because I didn't know until I was done creating that piece of art, you know? So in the long run, music is definitely a healing process for me. I believe that it's been sent from the highest part of love of the universe, if you will, and I believe that it's something that we're using today in today's society. I feel like mainstream media, don't want to go too hard, but I feel like we could use it just a little bit better to help our society around us.
Yes.
And not, infiltrate and try to get our children to redirect themselves about monetary values or, like, political values. I mean, political and monetary is important, but let's not forget that we are all one heart, and the human condition is ultimately why I play music.
Now,
it helped me heal.
I know you love classic rock.
Oh, yes, of course, yes.
And had a funny conversation with Gabi. She said that you were a huge Kiss fan, which I said, of course you are, because Evie was. And that's another reason why our families were brought together.
Yes, I do agree. I do agree. Man, I've never heard Evie's voice, but every time I'm there at the event or dealing with that moment, I feel her, like, come up next to me and put her arm or hand on my shoulder and be like, thanks. You know what I mean? I feel that every year we do it. I'm over there crying. That's why, So yes, I'm a huge Kiss fan, and it's funny enough, my bandmates, I hate to throw them under the bus. They might not be the biggest Kiss fans, but they got to deal with me, so they better love at least one or two songs. What's your favorite Kiss song? If you don't mind me turning the questions your way.
Crazy, Crazy Nights.
Ah, nice. That is a good one.
Yeah.
I'll give you two. I, from the Elders album.
Yeah.
I believe in me. I believe in something more than you can understand.
Even some of the Detroit Rock City.
Oh, dude, that's my next one. I promise you. That's my next one. All right, I'll give you my third. Love Gun. Love Gun, dude. And honestly, sadly enough, it wasn't even Ace Frehley playing the guitars on those parts, but I still love the song completely.
I mean, we took Evie to see that several times.
Funny story enough about that. That's so awesome that you guys got to share that together.
Yeah.
Because whenever my wife and I met in California, please excuse us, people at the forum, we walked straight into a Kiss concert. We just dressed the part and we walked straight through the doors and went and saw Kiss together. We had just known each other maybe all of a month. Oh, no. Kind of funny. So yeah, it was just one of those moments.
Now, what did you think recently, the farewell for Ozzy?
Man, oh wow. I knew I should have brought my sunglasses, man. I knew I was going to cry. I'm not going to cry. Ultimately, I am very inspired by Ozzy Osbourne's music.
Yeah.
His bandmates. And even him as a person, his stance. Because most people would take him and be like, oh, it's the Prince of Darkness. It's evil this. But whenever you actually, like, listen to what Ozzy was saying.
Oh, my God.
He was talking about the human condition and loving and being able to not, like, harm each other and love each other.
So the opposite. I mean, he was the Prince of Darkness.
Yeah.
But everybody that knew him talked about how he was such a kind-hearted, loving, family good.
Exactly. Because, me being who I am, my complexion, I was raised, oh, no, that's not for you. Don't listen to that. But I loved it.
So what did you think of Youngblood doing the tribute with Changes?
It's funny enough. I don't keep up with modern music as strongly or as consistently as I should, but it was definitely a breath of fresh air, and it was a cool reset.
Yeah.
It was like a really cool reset to just see the essence or the baton, if you will, like a relay race. You're running as hard as you can. You're working as hard as you can to get to the next moment. It's like, hey, now it's your turn. Take this. Run with this.
I've been seeing a lot of clips, and it's been a cool story to learn more about him because he is such a passionate advocate for mental health.
Oh, for sure. That's beautiful.
I mean, he really takes time to hug and just sit with his fans and talk to them. And he always is talking about how when he was struggling, he looked up and Ozzy was his role model.
That's
and
awesome.
So, he absolutely loved him, was a role. So being a part of that was just such a huge thing for him.
Yes, that's beautiful, man. And we need more of that in this world, like where we are in our society. We need more of that. We need more people that are capable of taking the reign and helping the youth that are growing up troubled mentally, and not knowing how to feel and not knowing how to be. We need more people out there that are worth looking up to.
Yeah.
That are worth reaching out for. That's what I was saying about the music. Like, if we could just make a little bit more focus toward that.
Yeah. And speaking of that, at last year's concert, this is one of the things that stuck out the most for me. I absolutely loved. Y'all had just done We Will Rock You from Queen.
Yes.
And closed the night out. And afterwards, the number of young girls that came up to Gabi.
Oh, man.
Talking about how she was a role model, how they looked up to her. And just for y'all to have such an impact on the audience.
I have an ugly cry face. I'm going to cry. That young lady is my physical savior in this realm. God sent her to me, man. I was in a very dark spot whenever I met her, and I screamed out to the heavens, I'm done with this. I'm over it. I don't know what you're doing with me. I'm tired of feeling like you're playing with me. Send me a reason to be. Send me a reason to live. I met the girl 10 minutes later after that. We've been together ever since. I was about to walk off into the ocean. Yeah, I was in Venice Beach, California, man. I was ready to leave this realm. And I met her. And her name means God's able-bodied one. And that, to me, to see those young women see her as the strength that she is, because at times she doesn't even realize it. She has a deep story. If you guys ever get more time to really get her story, she's gone through some things. She lost her father at a young age, and she's moved, across countries and stuff, and had to deal with growing up being non-English speaking to being a very upstanding citizen of America, but she still has a message to speak, and it's so beautiful to see young girls or young ladies or young women that might not understand exactly what they're doing here, or might not understand the power that they actually possess, and that girl's the essence of love, man. Well, she really is.
To see y'all together
on
stage, give yourself some credit here, bud.
Yeah, that's my heart, man. Yeah, we try, and the whole thing with the band and how all that worked out. If I can go there, if that's okay. Dean, the guitar player, main guitar player, I play bass guitar in Total the Earth. But Dean, me, him, and Chewy, the drummer, we were sitting around, playing little bar gigs, cover songs here and there every once in a while. Over at the taco shop out in Flint, his sister and his brother-in-law owned a taco shop. We played out there a few times. And he was like, hey, man, I want to put together some songs or put together an album or something. I was like, well, come see me. I got a small studio. Let's make it happen. No problem. By the time we started recording and tracking this and realizing that it was actually coming into something, oh man, we need a singer. So we had this guy, and this guy, and then it was like, that's not what we're looking for. Finally, I guess I finally, softened my dome, and I got a nice little knock on my head, and God said, how about your wife? She's got a message.
Had she walked up
and right. Well, funny enough, man, she's been very quiet and meek, very soft spoken. You know what I mean? And very great singer. She's never been in a rock band or an alternative band until that.
Yeah.
So like that's why if you hear the first EP, the version of the songs that we have, she's more like yell singing, like rap yelling. But now, whenever you see us live with the new understanding of what we do, she's like, doing all the heavy screams and stuff because she found herself. But mainly her poetic understanding, her intellect and her poetic understanding is really what drives the band because her message is strong for everybody, black, white, male, female. It doesn't matter. It's a human condition situation.
Yeah.
Because we're all dealing with it. One hurts, the other hurts. And that's one thing we're looking at right now, especially with the world being the way it is right now. And softly speaking on this, to not push anybody away, we've got to come together.
Yeah.
And it's been preached for too many years now that we have not. And I'm glad to be sitting next to someone like you. You know what I mean? And then you sit next to someone like me. This is a complete different realm that we're in these days. Imagine how it used to be back whenever you were first born.
Yeah.
And versus like what it was like whenever I was first born. But now we can sit here and talk about this stuff together.
Yeah.
That's really beautiful. And that's all we want is the peace in our society and be able to love one another and give each other a chance. You see your fellow man down, pick him up.
Yeah.
You see your fellow woman need a hug or whoever. Be there for them.
We started teaching our community awareness class called Holding Spaces this year.
Mm.
And what the whole concept on that is teaching people in the community how to keep an eye out for their friends, their neighbors, their coworkers, people from church. So if you see somebody that is showing maybe some of the signals or symptoms, just being there to look them in the eye and say, hey, I see you. Let's have a conversation.
And sometimes that's all it takes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's all it takes.
All it takes is somebody to be there.
No one wants to feel like a meaning of a go.
Yeah.
A go like a thing of the past, neglected. You know what I mean? Nobody, ultimately, if I had to talk about and my experience of mental health, neglect was a huge thing. From my father to my friends and my classmates, and even whenever I got older, and certain people not wanting me around because they didn't like the way I dressed or didn't like the way I talked or didn't like the way I looked, neglect. And we need to stop neglecting one another and take time to at least say, how are you?
Yeah.
How are you? That goes a long way. It really does. It really does, man.
Well, you talked about some of the ways that you felt as a child when you were struggling with mental health, but then you said that you found music to be your passion.
Yes.
Do you recall some examples of when you started to see or feel, wow, this is good. This is helping me.
Yes.
This is making me feel positive about myself.
Definitely. Several different moments, may it be performance wise that, I got an accolade at the end of playing. Somebody's like, wow, that was awesome. You did this, you did that. That made me feel alive. I felt seen, whenever you'd go home or whatever and you not feel seen, or like the one person that you want to pay attention to you isn't paying attention to you. It just makes you feel like you're locked in a closet. But as far as that goes with music and a growth moment, back to whenever Gabi and I first met, this gentleman actually, can I talk about alcohol?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. This young man, I say young man, like lightly, he was the bitter beer face guy. Remember Beer to Beer?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
He was the guy from the commercials. I met him out on the streets in Venice Beach, California. He introduced me to Gabi. I was in my deep dump. Hey, Kendrick, come over here. Play guitar for this girl. I had just got done crying out to the universe. Come play guitar for this girl. And I sang her a song. And if I could quickly speak some of the lyrics, it says, foolish I am, too accepting to man, searching for life's treasures, left here with lost hope in my hand. How pitiful, you lost individual, stupid to believe love exists beyond the physical. Prepare yourself to die alone. No one's love to call your own. Why? Why must it be this way? It's
Wow.
like I'm chasing after something that was never even there.
Wow.
I felt this pain 100 times, 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times. This, I swear. I walked this path 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times before. Why can't I just ignore and become numb? Right? So that piece of poetry, that song, is what I sang to Gabi the first day I met her. I looked up, she was in tears. And I looked at her and I was like, I know. And that brought us close together. So that's one of those moments that I realized that music was my way to heal not only my own internal reflection, if that makes any sense, to like the external that's outside of me, the world around me.
Yeah.
Other people feel that way as well, definitely. The healing though, from just being able to possibly be upset about something, maybe not wanting to smile, maybe not wanting to laugh, and just get over there and bang out an A chord for a minute, you know what I mean, or
Yeah.
whatever, or punch the guitar and and then all of a sudden you look back 3 minutes, 10 minutes later, and you got a little song talking about how you felt at that point in time. It helped me express myself. It helped me get it off my chest.
Yeah.
That was the escape of it all that I loved. Like I said, I can't control those around me, but I can control the music that comes out of me. And after it's created and it's actually sitting where it needs to sit, it helped me understand how and why I was feeling that way, and how not to become in a pit or
Yeah.
lift myself out of the pit. Yeah, that's the power of music.
How old were you when you started to kind of recognize, hey, okay, music, I actually am pretty good at this, or I feel like I could do this?
That's funny. Okay, I started playing with my dad. My dad used to play keyboard and guitar a little bit. One of the only things that we really shared together. You know what I mean? Like wholeheartedly. Later on down the line, it was auto mechanics and stuff like that. Race cars and stuff. But music was the thing we shared. So I was about 3 or 4 whenever I got my first drum set. Because I used to pull out the pots and pans like every other kid probably used to. Bang on mama's couch, wear out the couch arm. And boy, if you don't stop beating on my couch, in the words of Morris Day, his mother said, we're going to have to get this little brother some drums. So that's what my parents did. They got me a drum kit. And so about 4 years old, I was playing. I had keyboard, guitar around me and stuff like that. So it all started very young. Now, as far as realizing the capabilities that I had and like the access and what it could do for my life, I had my first group that took off in high school called Forsaken Heritage. Those of you that are out there from this town called Tyler, Texas, you know who I'm talking about. You know what it is. But anyway, Forsaken Heritage, that was my first band in high school. And that's whenever I realized that I had a gift to take music and manifest these sounds and these rhythms to where people were moved by them and affected by them, and I really knew that it could be something for me. At first I'd write random lyrics about nonsense or just like, little kid stuff. But as I grew up and realized that there were people out there that felt a certain way, I was like, okay, I want to talk about feelings.
Wow.
And my mom has always said, why do you have to speak about the way it is? Why can't you just, make happy, positive music? I was like, I do make happy, positive music. But the whole thing is that I know deep in my heart, I'm not the only one out there that's going through something. So maybe my something that I'm going through might help somebody else not let go.
I love that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I speak how I truly feel in my music. I've had plenty of people ask me not to, don't sing on this song. Don't say that,
How many times have you been sitting in an audience at a concert and you heard the band play something and you were like, I needed to hear that. Mm-hmm. That was for me. I know what he's feeling.
Exactly.
And so you build that connection, but for the audience, they feel that connection too, because their feelings have just been validated by the song that you're singing.
Exactly, man. Panic Device. Let me go here real quick. Panic Device. They used to do EV Rocks. Hopefully they'll come on. Hopefully they'll come back onto the lineup, man. Great guys, great dudes, excellent songwriters, great show, funny, good people. Long story short, they have a song, "Burn It Down."
Yeah.
I watch you burn it all down.
Yeah.
Whenever I first heard them play that, it brought tears to my eyes.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it and I've lived it. Like something that you've put so much time and effort into and love behind. And all of a sudden, somebody just loses hope.
Yeah.
And they just want to let it burn to waste. It's like, that touched me. Definitely, man. But overall, thank you for
Oh my
being.
God.
Thank you guys for being you. Thank you and your lovely wife Jess for being you. Thank you for understanding the deeper meaning of what humanity needs. Thank you,
We're blessed to have you and
brother.
Gabi and Toil of the Earth with us on this road.
Glad to be here, man. I think the name "Toil the Earth" kind of sits strong with Evie Effect, you know,
Yeah.
because we're all toiling just a little bit, you know.
I do have a gift for you
Oh, I like
as
gifts.
being a part.
What is this here? Oh, brother.
Got to stay hydrated for the show.
Brother. Hydrate or dihydrate is what I've been told. Hydrate or dihydrate. Dude, this is awesome. Thank you. I needed this. I really
You're
did.
so welcome.
I needed this. It's gonna, man, your energy's all over this too, man. That's loving energy. Thank you.
You bet.
Thank you so much.
That is a wrap for today's episode. We certainly want to say thank you to Kendrick for sharing his experiences. We hope that it brought you a little hope, a little encouragement, a smile, because as we say at Beyond the Darkness, there is hope in every story.